So this is a tool I created to help with converting numbers for some students to use. You don't have to use it. From going from scientific notation to standard notation and standard notation to scientific. Okay, so I'm going to do this problem up here, 5 n 652 thousandths times 10 to the negative 3. So if I wanted to go ahead and use this tool, I would first go ahead, and I know that because of the negative exponent, I'm going to be moving to the left. So I'm going to put in zeros and then 5, 6, 5, 2. Okay, so each box represents a place value. So I'm going to go ahead and place the current decimal point, and I'm going to use pink for that. And then I'm going to go ahead and use the green to help me figure out where my new one goes. So if I go ahead and I'm here between the 5 and the 6 originally, 10 to the negative 3 tells me to move to the left 3 digits. 1, 2, 3. So when I go ahead and I write this in standard notation for my answer, I would say that the number is, remember I only have to have 1 0 before the decimal point. Then I would go ahead and type the rest of the digits that I need. So it would be this value. Okay, and then I can go ahead and I can delete those, or I can just move them down and reuse them and recycle them. Okay, so now let's go ahead and do this next one. This one is in standard notation, 30,256, and it's a negative number. So now to use this tool, don't use the negative number. You just have to remember to write that in your answer. Okay, and then we're going to go ahead and we're going to put the pink dot as our decimal point for where it's currently located. So it's located, even though we can't see it, to the right of the 6. So, and I'm going to use green to show where my new one needs to go. So when I write a number in scientific notation, remember that the digit to the left of the decimal point, remember it has to be ones. So if I move it here, I'm at 3,000. Here I'm at 302. Here I'm at 30. So I'm still not in the ones place. And so that means it has to go right here between the 3 and the 0. Okay, so now I'm ready to go ahead and write that in my scientific notation. Okay, so my first factor needs to have a decimal point between the 3 and the 0. And I'm going to go ahead and put all the digits until I start to get to just a bunch of zeros at the right. But this one just ends right there. It's negative, so I'm going to put my negative sign in front of it. Then I'm going to put my times, and then my power of 10. So I moved the decimal point to the left to get it into scientific notation. I remember when I went from standard to scientific, moving it to the left means my exponent is going to be positive. And in this case, I moved it 4 digits, so that means it's going to be positive 4. So in scientific notation, this would be negative 3 and 10 thousandths, or I'm sorry, negative 3 and 256 10 thousandths times 10 to the 4th power.